Chapter 4, Lesson 1, Anatomy of an Xcode Project. By now we've mostly worked in viewcontroller.h and viewcontroller.m. You've probably seen that when you generate a project, it generates a whole host of files and essentially its own file system with folders and things of that nature. In this lesson, we're going to cover each one of those files and what it does and why it's important to us as an iOS developer. Right now you're only watching part of this series. The full course includes many more lessons, including how to monetize and submit apps to the App Store. Click the link in the description now to check out the full, unabridged course and to create a fantastic source of passive income. Now let's get back to the lesson. In Xcode, I'm going to create a new single view application. Now that we've created our Xcode project, I went ahead and opened up the project folder that it automatically generates for us. Because this is the lesson on the anatomy of a standard Xcode project, I'm going to show you what each file does. So here we have our project with all of its files in the left tab. If we go ahead and close out of this, it can easily be reopened by opening the .xcode proj, short for Xcode project, of course. So if you want to close out your project and come back to it, simply open that file. Now, all of our files that we would be referencing while we're coding are in the project names folder. For reference, I've named this project Anatomy Demo. So I'm going to open this project folder. Now that we've opened this folder, we can see each of our .h and .m files. The first two files we come across are the appdelegate.h and appdelegate.m. You can see these in Xcode by, of course, selecting them. They're right here. What these files do are help start the app when it's first opened. So they're a collection of methods, as you can see here. For example, application did finish launching with options that help start the app out. It's useful for setting up the app after launch. Next one we see is our base.lproj. In this folder, we see launchscreen.xib and main.storyboard. Now here is the main.storyboard. We can see that it's just a storyboard file. And here we can see our launchscreen.xib, an interface builder file. All of the interface builder files, the ones that are generated by Xcode anyway, are stored in this folder. The next folder we see is the image.xc assets. Now if we open this, we only see a folder for app icon. If we go and select this file in interface builder, we'll see app icon as well. We'll cover this folder a little bit more in the future, but essentially it's a way to organize images in Xcode. Now you'll notice that Anatomy Demo is the folder that we're currently in right now. It's this folder. So if we open that, we'll see all of the folders that are inside of this. They're all right here. But you don't see supporting files. And inside of supporting files, we find this file, info.plist, as well as main.m. They're not grouped inside of a supporting file folder, just like they are in Xcode. That's because in Xcode, you can select two files, right-click on them, and click New Group from Selection. I'm just going to name this View Controller, since we're grouping our View Controller files together. Now you'll notice in here that these two files are not in a View Controller named folder. So essentially what's happened is we've grouped them together in a folder in Xcode, but you can only see the folder in Xcode. It's not an actual folder on your hard drive. Anyways, if we go back to info.plist, the info.plist is a property list, which is what plist is, that holds most of the project settings. We can view info.plist in Xcode by either selecting it or going up to the project and clicking info. Here is our info.plist. The info.plist holds a lot of project settings. For example, right now, I have the bundle version selected. This is the version that you'll see in the App Store. Currently, we're on 1.0 as that's the default setting. If we were to submit this version, 1.0, and we wanted to update it, we could change this to 1.1 or anything that we want. For example, 2. In short, the info.plist simply holds project settings. Also in the supporting files is main.m. Main.m is basically a helper file. It's the file that's first launched as soon as a user taps the app on their home screen. You won't do coding in here, much if at all. I personally have not. It's simply used to launch the app. And of course the two that we've worked with the most, viewcontroller.h and viewcontroller.m. You can see them right here in our project files. As we've discussed, a header file is where we can declare certain variables and things of that nature, whereas the implementation file is where we implement methods and we code. We can see both of these files right here. And of course, they control the view that's currently in our main.storyboard. This one right here. Remember, this course releases new lessons every Wednesday and Thursday of every week. Subscribe now to not miss them.